I think the first thing most people would be surprised to find out is this is my 47th year in doing sexuality work, and it has been an evolution. I started working after I dropped out of college with Adam and Eve, and I packed condoms, and I got interested in what the sex positive community there was about. Went back to college and got a health education degree specifically targeting sexuality. And from there, it's been 2 degrees past that. And I have had private practice. I have taught at Florida State University and Tallahassee Community College doing human sexuality, as well as lots of in the community, meeting people, talking about this. And when I left school, my students were, "You can't stop teaching." I was like, well, somebody in my life is kind of interested in a little retirement thing going on. And they said, but you could do something really cool like write. And I said, write what? And they said, chapter 5 in our textbook, all about fantasies. You could do some interesting things. And from that point forward, when I moved to where I live now, I started writing erotica, and I met Rachel Kramer Bussell, who is the pristine, wonderful editor for erotica in the United States. And I'm now in 9 different publications, several of which are hers. She interviewed me for how to write erotica. And so it's been kind of neat to go from author to editor and doing a lot of different things. Project-wise, I have a book coming out on August 15th. It's called Purple Sex and Love. It is a women's journal for sexuality, and it comes with a standalone card deck. So I've created a set of affirmation cards that relate to 9 different topics of sexuality, using a holistic approach of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and then some energy cards that help you lean into your strengths. So those are the upcoming things right now. Lean in the research direction, so I absolutely love Come As You Are. I mean, it's one of those books you keep on your shelf by Nagalski, and I love Becoming Clitorate. I've done some work with Laurie Mintz. In fact, she's going to be one of the folks who's provided an inspirational quote in the journal, so I'm really excited about that. And let me think, what else have I been working on? I love Sex with Emily's podcast. I think that's an interesting one to take a look at. So those are off the top of my head. Be open to seeing everyone else's perspective. My dad used to say, choose your company. And it's always about the people that are around you and looking at values and integrity. And the idea of being able to be open to be in somebody else's shoes, to experience what they might be experiencing in sexuality, I think assists us individually in owning our own and feeling really good about it. Well, it's interesting having this 47-year window. I wouldn't even have this conversation on the beginning because half of these things didn't even exist at that point in time. It was word of mouth, telephone book, pick up the phone and call. So this is a whole new world, and I'm kind of excited that I've been able to participate in it. But it has been interesting to see how it translates into where you get in trouble with what you're talking about. Sometimes the word sex can't even, come into play, and social media is going to highlight that. But it's also connections of groups of people that don't want to be associated with you. So when you're doing network or you're trying to find the people that you would like to target or be an audience interested in what you're doing, they may not want to have your content on their feeds. So you have some different kinds of issues going on in that direction. I think the most important thing is to get a group of people around you where you can bounce off ideas and say, how did you do this? Did this work well? That sort of thing. So I think the social media part is the hardest. I don't have any problem with my website because I can do anything that I want to there. And I was just thinking newsletters too. I was in a workshop that was talking about you can say anything you want to in your newsletter, but you better make sure that the heading of the newsletter is nice and calm, cool and collected, and gives not a whole lot away in the sexuality world. I'm going to be talking about creating revenue streams from erotica writing. And I think the thing that I've learned in my entire career is evolution. And sometimes you can get one idea that allows you to open up in a lot of different directions. And I'm going to talk about how you may start with an interest personally for journaling or writing fantasies out for yourself, but then you recognize that there's this other market of other people that might be interested in that. And I moved from writing it to editing it to having a community of people who are writers, and then another community to go with the journal and the sex cards, all of these different things that can flow together to highlight the business that you're doing. The word passion is probably my go-to word for everything. I have loved being able to see the light happen for people when they go, aha, this is something that's important to me or fits for me, or business-wise, wow, I could do that because I have this talent or skill that I didn't even think could apply in this direction. So when you help somebody tap into a passion they already have, and we know creativity and sexuality are right there together, it makes it, for me, really special in that world.